I'm Birdie.
And welcome to Because of Course We Did, where we discuss life as a modern artist, the way people react to us, and the things that we do, and occasionally talk about recovering from religious trauma, our own mental health journeys, and all sorts in between.
Today, we're going to be getting into the weeds about the identity of being an artist.
So, when did you first accept that you were an artist?
I feel like that's an ongoing subject.
that is how I feel about it. It's an ongoing problem.
I feel like it's a very apparently, I mean, for me, it's a very distinct I feel like it's a pretty distinct sort of moment because like, it's a very weird story of you reading the creative act and sending me quotes from it. And I was like, yeah, totally.
I was just like, hey, this said that this is hallmarks of being an artist. Doesn't that sound familiar?
And I was like, of course, right. Yeah, that's totally makes sense, right? And so I just kind of was like, oh, okay. I guess I'm an artist. Right.
And how did that make you feel?
I feel like it's kind of like it's scary in a way to like accept it as like a identifier, but also it feels good. It feels good to be like, okay, cool. Like I am something. I fit into some category where I was not really felt overly like I fit into a lot of distinct categories in my life. I
feel like it suits you. I feel like it makes a lot of things make sense.
That's not something that I was ever really I feel like people identified with me growing up. I feel like a lot of my artistic sort of direction or inclination, I suppose, was brushed off a lot and ignored. And so it was a hard thing for me to accept. Mm-hmm. Like I remember having this discussion like more than once talking about how like other people I knew were artists. Like I had siblings who were artists. I had like, you're an artist. And like, I've known people, I've loved people, I've admired people, but I'm not. Mm-hmm. And that was kind of the narrative that I carried for a long time that everyone else was but me. And I'm sure that stems from a lot of things I need a lot of therapy for. But I do feel like a lot of it was like everything that I did was kind of brushed off by like my parents or people around me. I feel like the only thing that it was like accepted in was in baking because I was a baker from around the time I was like 17 to my mid-20s.
And damn fine one too.
Well, thank you. And it was artistic, but it's not really considered an art form unless you do it in kind of a more like higher...
Like a pastry chef.
Like you're a pastry chef at a fancy restaurant or something. But yeah, it wasn't something that I felt comfortable calling myself because I feel like everything I did that was creative was brushed off, ignored, or belittled throughout my childhood. So it was like really hard journey for me to get to the point to being like, I'm an artist. And like actually being able to say it, which I just tell people that now, which is strange, but yeah. What about you? When did you first accept that you were an artist or accept the identity of being an artist?
I don't know. I feel like I've always been creative, but I don't know when I like donned the label of artist. I feel like that was much later in life, probably around the same time of reading the creative act, but I've always been creative and like never felt like I wasn't. I didn't have the moniker of it, but you know, I was playing music since
when did you start?
13. And before that I would draw on things and I did photography before that, you know, before I was a teenager. Still do. I do the video work for this. You know, that's
if you watch the video version of this.
Yeah.
Cinematography by Ben.
Yeah, but I've always done creative things. I just didn't know that it was all linked to some bigger thing, like it was an identity. Yeah,
but you always wanted to be an artist, though. Like as long as you've kind of thought about doing work, it's been art.
Whenever I was a little kid, I wanted to be a veterinarian until I learned what veterinarians did, and then I was like, I don't want to be a veterinarian anymore.
You're too sensitive.
I'm too sensitive. And yeah, that was, you know, I feel like that's part of being an artist is being very sensitive, being so in touch with your senses and with the world and getting very creative acting this one with, perceiving the world like artists just perceive the world a bit fuller than normal people do, and I don't know what that's about. But yes, I've always felt I always felt that I was a creative in some way. I just didn't know the terminology because I was a homeschooler in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, I think it's interesting that you always like embraced it, and like even though it's, I guess you've always had kind of a hard time, it seems to me, like you've in the past few years of growing emotionally and going through therapy and everything, and been better at like being able to communicate your feelings. But I feel like it's interesting that you always had this.
The drive to do it.
You always had the drive to it, and it was always like that's been your pursuit for most of your life, is to go this direction. And it's really like, I'm sure a lot of people envy that, like knowing what you want. But it's also really scary because you know what you want.
Yeah.
And it takes time and effort to get there.
What's after that takes a lot of hard work.
But it's a big step just to know what you want and to be able to admit what you want and call yourself what you are.
That's true. That's true. And, you know, I am grateful that I do know what I want, because so many people are lost and they have no idea what they want.
It's true.
I'm very grateful that you know now that you are an artist and you're pursuing that.
Yeah, I remember just like years of you kind of like pushing me, and like you're the one who were like, you're an artist, and I'm like, fuck that, I'm not an artist, I'm nothing. No, I'm just I have self-esteem issues, if you haven't picked up. Yeah, you kept telling me that I was, and I was just like, what are you talking about?
What you mean?
But it's like I was always really creative as a kid. Like I have been drawing, I feel like my whole life, and I've always been interested in creative things, and I was always like, let's decorate for the holidays. I'm like hand cut 1,000 bunny rabbits for the windows for Easter. And like we like made a chalkboard door on one of our cabinet doors, and I would decorate it, like just change it every once in a while. And I remember for years my dad being like, when are you going to come over and redo the chalkboard? And I was like, I wasn't working in any way as an artist. I think I was baking at that point still, which I do think is a creative work. You do have to be creative if you want to do it well. But I don't know. I used to like give my mom drawings, and she would be like, oh, nice, and throw them away.
Yeah.
And I was just like, okay, I guess I suck. And like I tried to read her my poems, and she would just ignore me entirely. And I was like, I guess I'm really bad at this. Sorry. But also like in the whole idea of sensitivity, like you were talking about, is, you know, that the sensitivity is viewed as such a negative thing. And I feel like there's a lot of people who have been called sensitive. I've been called sensitive.
And like derogatorily.
Like that's a bad thing. And I was like, that's something that I feel like I've been fighting back against for like a decade, is like that sensitivity is not it was like used, I feel like, as a slur against me my entire childhood. And I'm like, but I am sensitive to things. I feel things. Like I've seen a few people talk about this where it's like sensitive, like, yeah, I feel things deeply. In the bad things, yes, but also the good things. Like I feel very deeply the various things, and it makes me understand things and be able to express them in a way that other people can't, which is true of everyone. And like if you feel things, you can in like your own specific perspective, and I like that could be a good thing.
Yeah, it is a great thing. And well, it's also a terrible thing. It's a bit of it is a great thing, but it's also a curse.
Indeed it is.
And that's something he talks about in the Creative Act, is like these, like specifically talking about artists, how they're the people that experience tremendous beauty and tremendous pain.
You gain a lot, but you also suffer a lot.
Yeah, it's which is why it's really common for artists to have depression and
anxiety,
do the
drugs,
leave this mortal coil.
Yeah, pop off.
Yeah, pop off.
Yeah, it's hard. Like it's hard feeling things so much, but also it's like I think denying yourself the right to express these things is the worst part, really.
Yeah, it's killing you.
Yeah, like it's the worst thing you can do is like if you have the sensitivity, you have this desire, you have this drive, to create and you just ignore it, like I feel like your depression is always so much worse.
Yeah.
Every time you put it away, you decide, nah, I'm not going to do this, or you don't have as much time. Like you're always more depressed.
Yeah. Specifically, I think we might have said this last episode. I don't remember, but I'd be like, oh, I really need to knuckle down into work, and I'll just sell all my instruments.
Yeah.
And then like after that,
I go, we're in for it.
There's like every time after that, I'm just like so depressed. I can barely do anything.
Yeah.
And so I've stopped doing that.
Yeah. You're not allowed to do that anymore.
I've gone through therapy, and I've learned that that's a cognitive distortion.
Mm-hmm.
just putting things away that
matter to you.
That matter. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I'm going to choose this lifestyle that doesn't align with my values.
Yeah.
And then, hey, wait, I'm unhappy. What's that about?
I don't know. Why does this life feel like too hard? Maybe because you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing.
Yeah. So, if you feel like, you have an interest at all in creating art, you really should do it. It doesn't have to be for your career. You just, whenever you find times to make stuff, please make stuff.
Yeah, and if you are struggling and you feel like you are having a really hard time committing to it and you feel really depressed, like reach out to somebody. Reach out to us. Like we'd be happy to talk to you.
Big time.
Like we've been there. We've struggled with feeling really depressed and really disconnected, and like we'd be happy to talk. And I'm sure other people would be too. And get therapy if you can. Yes. For sure.
My therapist said that I had persistent depressive disorder. And one of my more recent sessions, I said that I don't think that I can say that I'm depressed anymore, which is incredible because I've been depressed for most of my life, ever since my teenage years, and, thoughts of suicide a lot. But I'm like happy now. So if you can get therapy and you feel like you need it, please do.
I'm so happy and so proud of you.
Thank you. Mm-hmm. You know what? I'm proud of me too.
Yeah. Doing good.
Yeah. So do it.
Yeah. It is hard. And like, I think it does bring a lot of I've always struggled. I have had depression, but I've struggled with anxiety more in my life, like some really paralyzing anxiety. And it's a lot to do with self-confidence. And that has a lot to do with a lot of things to do with my childhood and my life, but I'm working on it. And it still struggles with me. Sometimes I'm just my first big art show I did last year. I'm still in my early days, but last year I was so freaked out. I was having nearly a panic attack before it because my self-confidence has never been super great and my anxiety over things has always been extreme. But I feel I've been working on therapy related things as well. And I've been really trying to embrace the art in my life and to embrace, I feel the past couple years, especially, I've been I'm an artist and I'm doing art and I've been pursuing it and it's been fucking hard. Mm-hmm. It's been so hard, but it's also, I am so freaking grateful that I'm doing it.
Absolutely.
I don't want to do something else. I want to do this, which is amazing because I work jobs that I do not want to be doing.
Oh, yeah.
I have been in situations in my life that I have not wanted to be in, and it just feels miserable. Mm-hmm. And it's made me so anxious.
Absolutely.
Because it's scary. I feel people don't necessarily recognize the fact that anxiety can make you just feel sick. Mm-hmm. You just feel sick. You're so anxious because it's something's not right and you can't do anything about it. And I feel my anxiety has been so much better since I've been trying to embrace what I want to do. And I've been lucky that I've been able to to focus on it more fully than everyone's always been able to. You have to work your regular job and work on art, and it's hard, but it's possible. And I think that it's worth it to do. I've been really grateful that I've been able to kind of shift to just focusing on this, which if you have the opportunity, it's nice to do, but also it's not necessary. I don't want people to think that you have to.
You don't have to do it as your career.
You don't have to do it as your career, and also you can work at doing it as your career.
That's a very important, that is something that needs to be said, is that if you can work on it slowly at first, I mean, you need to be kind to yourself and let yourself slowly work up to it, because you could throw yourself into it too deeply, too quickly, and freak yourself out and never come back to it, and then be miserable the rest of your life.
Yeah, and like selling your work is like something I think you have to recognize is also like is kind of different. It is different from just being an artist. You can be an artist and not make money off of it, but when you are trying to make money off it, you have to recognize that you are running a business. And if you're not prepared for the cost and the stress of running a business, then you need to go a lot slower.
Yeah.
You should be doing art.
And
but
have people to help you out that can do the things that you either don't want to or are unequipped to do.
Yeah, I think that's something that people forget when they go into wanting to be like, maybe I could sell my art, is like, you're starting a business, my love.
Yeah.
You are not just, like, I feel like it's like kind of simplified, like, oh, I'm just selling my art. You are, but you're running a business.
Yeah.
It's running a business. It's small, but it's still running a business. I almost like want to say to some people when I'm feeling kind of self-conscious to be like, I run a small business. Because I do. Like if I don't want to say I'm an artist, I'm like, maybe I should just say I run a small business, because I do. I run a small business.
Stand your ground. You are an artist.
I have a workspace. I have a website. I have taxes. I have these things to consider. I'm running a business. But you also need to recognize that it's going to take a little time to run it well. And it's going to be frustrating and it's going to be hard. But like most things in life that are worth doing tend to be a little hard.
That's the truth.
And I mean, just the whole admitting you're an artist thing can be a really big hurdle to cross, and embracing it and making time for it is a big hurdle. But that's life, and life is a hurdle, and you might as well just try to do what you want with it.
Life's a ditch, dig it. You love me. You told me.
Ditch of freedom.
The ditch of hope. But yeah, we have a quote from Mary Oliver, who's one of the smartest people that ever lived. I'm excited about the new documentary. I'm gonna watch that once it comes up. But what
does Mary have to say? Sorry.
Yeah, the quote from Mary Oliver: "The most regretful people on earth are those who felt the call to creative work, who felt their own creative power restive and uprising, and gave to it neither power nor time."
Oh, Mary, I agree.
Yep.
You know what? I agree. You're going to regret not following your passion and your dream, even if it's in a small way, even if you can't do it full time, if you can't, because of various circumstances, like you have responsibilities, like maybe you have kids, maybe you have ailing parents, maybe you have health problems, whatever it is. But in ignoring it and not embracing who you are, I think you will always regret whatever that is.
Yep. So please make art. And
please make art.
Do it for yourself, but everyone will, people will be happy about it.
People will be happy about it and they'll appreciate it and
feel seen.
Yeah. And yeah, if you want to talk about it, we're here.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah. Thanks for listening.
Thanks for listening.